Hello everyone, and welcome back to the techystack channel. So today we'll try to explore one more new challenge, so which is related on the Excel side. So basically, whatever data you are seeing in the sheet one now, so this is our input. So now what I expecting the output as. So just whatever the data is there now, just take this data table, and we need to change this as transpose. So whatever the data, we don't know how many data will come. I mean, in the sense of how many rows are there, how many columns are there, we don't know as it is. So whatever the data you are coming, so the entire data we need to convert like this. Okay, so we'll try to explore how we can do with this Uipath. So let me delete this sheet. Okay, and I'm saving this, and I will go back to the Uipath Studio and we'll check. So the first step, so what we want, so we want to get the data. For that purpose, I'm using the read range workbook. So just drag and drop this right in your book, and I need to get this file path. So this is available in input folder. So let me copy this path. Okay, and the sheet name is sheet one. Okay, and I want to read that entire range now. So that's why I keep it as like that. And I'm saving enter the data into one variable which we called XLDT. Okay, now I did. What is happening? Okay, it's not created the variable. It is available. Okay, let me check what type of data is it. I will remove all the things and I will save this Excel data. Now this is done. So here the first step. So what we want to know. So we need to get this all the columns. So right now I have this 9 columns around are there. So we don't know how many columns are come. So for that purpose, so we need to get all the columns. So first we'll try to explore how the columns we can fetch this. Okay, let me keep one message box here downside just for checking purpose. So I will write the code on the immediate window. So we'll go with debug mode step into. So just update this dt excel dot columns of cast what's this cast of let me I have the query with me. Mm, okay, of column data. So just take this enter the thing and update it. So whatever the headers are there now, it will give us those headers. Dot column of column cast. Okay. So when you check here, so all the data is available in the format of array. So now what I would do, I can loop this and update this data there. So I'm just copy this data, okay, and applying one for loop. Let me take for each row, this one. Okay, whatever the data I updated there in immediate window, now, the same data you can just pass it here and enter the columns data it's storing into one by one, and each one everything is from one by one like in storing into the current row item, or maybe you can change this item as per your requirement. Okay, now this is done. So next what I want to do, so I want to do create the column. Okay, just update here data table, and we can see this here add row add column is, first I want to add this add column. So once I add that column only, then I can able to update the data. After that I need to take this add row as well. Okay, so before I'm adding I want to create one another data table. For that purpose I need to create one data table. Let me take assign activity, just drag and drop, and I'm creating data table as temp activity. And here I will create new data table. Just go and change this type of variable. Okay, it's created a new table, and whatever the data is in story table. So what is the column name? Column name is available on the current item dot to string. Okay, where I want to update in the temp data table. Okay, after this I want to add the rows. So the row again it's coming from the current row of current item dot to string. Okay, where I want to update, I need to update on the temp data. Let me remove this current dot. Okay, here I need to update. This is the format of arena. So I need to update in open and close flower brackets. After this, I want to update all the data into that Excel file bracket. Huh? So just I'm taking one more activity which we call write edge workbook activity. And this is the path, same path. And the sheet name is and make it as final sheet. And data table is temp data table. And where I want to paste means I want to paste at the column A1. Okay, now we'll see whether it's updating a data or not. Let me run this. Is there okay, Excel file is not in open status. I close all the files and just I'm running into until breakpoint. Okay, now I back to this file and I will check this data. Okay, when you check here, so whatever the data is available, all the data is coming for. So just I'm copy this data and pasting here. Let me copy one more time. And just I'm updating the transpose. So you can see this. So this all the data has come in the format. Okay, now the columns headers has been done. The next what we want, so we need to add this each one by one row. Okay, let me go back to there. So here we need to use this couple of for loops. Let me collapse all the these things. Okay, till here it's done. Okay, next what we want to do, we need to take this for each. Okay, I'm taking this for each activity. Again, I'm taking this for each activity. So in this for each activity, here the problem is I need to get every time one by one column. No? For example, when you go and check here, so here we don't know how many rows will come now. So as of now, just assume like that. So the first row, whatever the data is there now, till this data, copy and paste the transpose the data. And similar for the account number, account name for all whatever the data is available. So we need to do for that. So first of all, we need to get the columns. So for that purpose, again, we are using this for each activity. So just copy the same thing and update here this for each activity. Okay, inside this for each activity, again, I need to use this for each row in data table. So here what I'm using, so I need to get that column. Default view is enough. So we need to take that, I need to get only the one column, enter the column. When you check here, so I need to get this enter the column. Okay, for that purpose, we need to use Excel data table dot default view dot to table of false, comma. So every time it will change. Now this is not standard. When you check here account, this is not standard. Every time it's keep on changing, and we don't know what type of name it will come. So to avoid those things, so I will need to update here current item dot to string. Current item dot to string. Okay, whatever this data is there now, so directly it's stored into the one data table. Okay, later now what we need to do, we need to take one Excel application. So why I'm using this Excel application scope means, for example, if you see each and every time I'm passing the data. For example, I need to update the A1, B1, C1. Every time I'm writing activity, it will take. Sometimes it might be get the glitches, so data will not update properly. So now I'm using is I already opened. I'm opening that Excel file. After that, I'm working. For that purpose, we need to take this Excel application scope. So drag and drop this Excel application scope, and I need to open that file now. For that, take this path activity So updating this path. Now whatever this for loop is there, now just move inside. Okay, just expand this. So now here two steps is completed, and we'll go to the next step. Here we are getting this raw data. Now first it will come here this data. So here what we want to know, we need to observe this every time this update on the B1, C1, D1, E1 and so on. No? So here the problem is incrementing with this column and incrementing that row as well. So both are incrementing this. When you come here, so it will give this B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7 like that it will come. So here two things we need to observe that. So one is incrementing of this alphabet and another one is incrementing of this row. I mean a row means 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. Okay, this one we need to update here. So first of all, I'm taking this as an activity and I will take this temp counter here. Temp Got. So here why I'm taking this tempo counter means because I need to get this one by one A1, A2 and so on like that. No? For that purpose, I need to take this tempo counter and assign its variable as integer. Okay, and initially I will give this 2. Why? Because when you check here, data we need to update this A2, B2 and so on. Okay, or else you can take this one. I will tell you. Okay, this is for just assume this. This is for 1, 2, 3, and so on. And next, what we need to do, we need to get this alphabet name as well, na? So let me take this alphabet that also I have with handy with me. Mm, It is this. Okay, when you check here, what happens? Okay. So when you check here, converted dot to string of these things blood plus 4, na? So it's gives this data. Just I copied that and I will show here. So first of all, I will show that how it will works. Later, I will update the same thing in the code. So whatever the data you are just the thing now, so just converting to this alphabet. So as of now, I given this 4. So when I give the 4, it should give it D, alphabet D. So when I give 5, it gives this E. Similar way, it will work. Okay, just I'm stopping this one, and I back to here this coding part, and I will take one as an activity. So just for safer side, we can use directly that also fine. But just a safer side, I'm using this as an activity, and I'm taking this alphabet. Just expand this, and I'm updating this data. Okay, here 4 is there as of now. This 4 it be the not standard now, so that's why I'm taking this temp counter variable. Okay, when you check here temp counter, so it will come B. When you check here alphabet, every time it starts from the B. Already why I'm not taking here A means A already available. So when you check here top side, already we updated that A1 column, entire column we updated. Now the next it starts from the B1. Okay, B1, C1, D1 and so on, it will incrementing like that. So for that purpose, by default, we need to get 2 now. So just come at the end of this one, just close this, plus 1 dot to string. Okay, it will give this B, C, D, and so on. Okay, I kept this inside of this one. So when you check here row counter, tempo counter, it will come as of now 1. I just incremented of this one. Okay, and so on, it will work. Okay, after this, I want to update this value. Write Excel. Sorry, write the cell. So write this cell, not this activity. It should be the this one, classic. Okay, and my sheet name is what I given the sheet name. I need to go here and I'm taking this sheet name. Okay, so the value is current row of 0 dot to string, current row of 0 dot to string. One second, what is – and okay, I given current item. current row of 0 dot to string. Okay, and I need to change this A1 value. So every time it's not standard now, so it will keep on changing. So I'll just remove that alphabet plus temp counter dot to string. Okay, now when you check here, it will come 1. So it updated is A1, B1, C1, and so on. So after this, we need to increment of this one. Let me just it will come here. It will. After that, it will increment again. So every time it got incremented alphabet. So that's purpose. So we need to keep inside of this. Okay, and similar way, take this as an activity and update this one. I mean increment plus 1. So now what it will happen, it will come here and it will got this alphabet with the increment of plus 2. I mean, if we give this tempo counter plus 1, initially it will come 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2 and give this output as the B. And similar way, we give this incrementer. So tempo counter plus 1, next time it will go to B2, B3, B4 and so on. And we give this here 1. So every time it will starts from the I mean, when you're updating the data, it will start from the 1, 2 and so on. And columns, when you check for row wise, 1, 2, 3. When you check for column wise, every time it starts from the B. So this is a loop here. We need to remember that one. Okay, now I will close this. Just I will run till here, and later I will go with the debug mode. So I need to check did we any step got missed or everything is working fine or not. So if you want to check that, so we need to go with the debug mode itself. So Excel file, it will take some time to open. Okay, it's got opened and it created the final sheet as well. Now the first it will update on the B1. Now just put into step into 1. So when you check, my temp counter is 1 and it looping for the each of the every data table. So now in this data table, it got stored this data. Okay, I'm stepping to just check this alphabet. So my alphabet is B and the temp counter is 1. So it updated on B1 and I'm checking this current row of 0 dot to string. It's give 100, I mean the 1001 Bank of India. Okay, just update and just incrementing this counter and alphabet. It might be changed alphabet, I think so, but not sure. Let me check alphabet. Okay, it's got changed. So this should be outside of that one only. So that's my bad. Um, Let me update this on the top side itself. If I did something wrong, let me control C and where is this alphabet? So alphabet, just I'm keeping it back on the top side. Okay, rerunning the bot again. So we need to check why I keep like this means we need to check whether the data is moving the perfect or not. So if you're not seeing and just running, it will throw that errors and whatever that you are expecting the data will won't come. Okay. Now just check alphabet. So alphabet is B. So here also one problem is there. I will tell you that what is the problem. So just we'll observe these things. So it got incremented, update the data B1. So now it updated on the B2 false. When I go and check here, false. So I will just run this one. I will keep breakpoint till here. Okay, just I will run till here. Okay, when you check here, my data got updated like this. Okay, but real time, what we want to do, I need to get B1, C1, D1 like that. So that's why I keep that loop inside of that. Okay, just assumption. Why I'm changing this means we need to understand the concept. If you don't understand this concept, simply we are doing the thing is bit tricky. Okay, we need to understand this. When you check here, data is coming, but I want this data in the format of like this values and transpose. I need like this format. I don't want it straightforward. So when I see the straightforward, just I can copy and paste it and everything it won't. So we need to understand this concept, how the data is flowing, how the data is required, the requirement. Okay, just I'm deleting. Just that for purpose, I change the things. Okay, just stop, enter the automation, and I keep it back to this instead of this. Okay, it might be a little bit confused, but I tried how the debugging we can do and how we can achieve the things. So we'll run, and still, if you see any things here, we'll segregate that as well. So now I'm running this. Okay, let it continue, and it opening that Excel file. Okay, it's opened that Excel file, and it looping each one by one. So now, finally, I move to this. Okay, 1 second. So it's given, but when you check here, incrementing of this one. So here I did one step which I wrong. So the temp counter which is not required. So when you check here, every time I need this B1. Okay, here might be something got missed. Okay, this one B1, and next it should be the C1. Okay, when you check here, this increment is not required, but if you see here, we need increment, but not in the terms of this way. So for that purpose, let me delete this sheet and I will stop this part. Okay, now it got some confusion. Okay, we'll remove that. So we'll understand this. So first it will open that Excel file, and later we got that each one by one table. After that, we declare one variable. So this is for incrementing of that particular things. Okay, now it's looping one by one of this. So it got it getting this column B1, C1. It's keeping on that. But the problem is, let me. So the problem is when you check here temp counter. So this should increment after this one, after this loop. So this should have increment after this loop. Okay, now let it be this one. I will remove this. Just I will keep outside of this. So now what it will happen now? Might be it will got somewhere effect. Okay. Anyway, we'll declare one more variable. So let it be this temp counter. I will declare one more variable. So just I'm taking this as alphabet counter. AL alphabet counter. Okay. Now I can take by default the two or let it be one. This it will work. Anything is fine. Just change this alphabet counter to integer. Okay, now I will directly change to. Now I get to know. So what I need to do work now, and I'm changing here. So this is not required. This case. So just I remove this and I'm take alphabet counter dot to string. Okay, downside what I will do, I will just change. I mean, let me copy this alphabet counter alphabet counter dot plus one. Okay, this should be outside of this for each loop. So let me check whether it's outside of for each. Okay. So now what it will do, it will take these two activities, and next time also it will take that thing, everything it is in the loop. So every time it will take one by one and incrementing till what it's required. Later it will back to the original values. Okay, now we'll try to run this. Let me run this and till let me run. Okay, it's got updating the data and we'll check. Okay, now when you check here, data has been accurate as per the requirement. Okay, now the next, what we want to do. So here the one more the problem is there. We'll understand. So now when you check here, so already B1 is completed. When you check here, so when I next time when I paste that B1, so for example, if I run this, what will happen? So my alphabet counter is 2 again. So when you check here, alphabet counter is 2, right? Alphabet counter. Okay, now when I run this, so it got changed something value 1025256. It appending, I mean replacing that first thing. Now the here what we want to do, so we need to get that counter as 2. Got it? So initially we take it as 1 and updating that. Now next it should be the B2. Okay, so like that we need to loop it. So let me close this and I'm stopping this part. Okay, now where we need to increment that. So everything is done. Only the problem is we are not segregating that looping part correctly. Here all the steps are done. Only the problem with this temp counter. So when I keep inside of this loop, so it will incrementing and changing, affecting this code. So just take this out of this for loop. That's it. Okay, so we did some couple of mistakes. So make sure that why we should not keep inside of this for each activity. Why couple of things are kept inside of this for each activity. So make sure that. Okay, here what we did, we'll check from scratch onwards. So first of all, we take one empty table and later we read this input range. So whatever the input is available, we just read that. So after once you read that, so we just extracting that the columns of the data table and we just updating the enter into directly to the A1. So when you check here, so whatever the columns is, I'm directly updating into A1 in the transpose way. So after that, we are getting each one by one row. So for example, when you check this one entire column, I'm taking first of all. So I taken that entire column and updating. So B1, C1, D1, and so on. I'm updating each and everything. So based on that loop incrementing of the things. Okay, now everything, all steps has been done. I'm running this automation. So we'll see how it will works. So let it run. Okay, Excel file has opened, and you can check this data. So it's updating properly. So whatever the data is or whatever expecting that the same thing, it's updating the each and everything. So once this is done, I will just reopen this file and I will show this output how it's done. Okay, now this is done. So let's go back to this Excel file. Okay, let it, I will give some data. Okay, this one, no problem. So just I've taken this, enter the data and I'm updating downside and I will check. Okay, now this data, whatever this data, now I'm just copy and transposing of this here again. Transpose. So it got in the same format. So when you check here, now let me remove the top data. So already we got this data, it's working fine. So just for checking purpose, I need to expand like this. So when you check this, all the data, it's matched. So this data also matched. Bank of India. So Bank of India, bank. After this 12. So no class, all the data has been as it is. And HR, let me move. HR inspects of this data and 3000. So whatever the data is, so as it is, the data is found. That's it. So this is a way how we can transpose the data from one format to another format. If you want to do in another format, which we got earlier here, no? Let me show that as well. So this format, this data also we can do with the same method. But the thing is understand. So whether it's going from row wise column or column wise row. So understand that thing and we can achieve it. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, make sure to hit that like button, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to turn off notifications so you never miss an upload.